Need to do signal divider, divide by in.a, divide in.a by in.b, write the quotient. I need to save it. Save. Okay. What is that doing? Nothing. Okay, I didn't finish it down here, did I? Move left to the accumulator, add up, move accumulator down. So move accumulator down, move add left. Okay, that's ticking along nicely. Yeah, I just had these in the wrong order there, and it was So about 184 cycles, and that's done. I mean, it's quite high in cycles, and I mean, there's one obvious problem. Well, not problem. So there's one obvious thing that's not what I was like. No, to get the wrong answer and detect it. So let's just think about this for a second. If I am dividing 70 by 1, the answer is 70 and 0. And if you look at this, you'll see that they never give us an answer which has just a remainder. So there is never a 0 in this column with the numbers that it has given us. If we had these reversed, so a 0 here and a 70 here, I could detect that and switch them round again. So you may ask, brilliant, that gets us nowhere. Why this philosophy? If you had 6 numbers here and 4, yeah, but I think there is a point to this. If I'm asked to divide 70 by 1, but I then divide 70 by 71, what does that give me? Well, 70 divided by 71. 70 does not go into 71, so that should give me 0 as the quotient. And what's the remainder? The remainder should be 70. You see where we're getting to now? So that simple trick, I can use all this division code without trying to bypass it, and so we'll have a look at it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I need to send them both in because I need to swap. I need to be able to, in this box here, manipulate them. So this guy's going to send him in and get one back, depending on what this guy wants to do with him. So move up to the accumulator. Save it. Subtract 1. Jump and equal to 0, 1. 1. So this is not 1. This is, I've been asked to divide by a number, but it isn't 1. So what do I need to do? I just need to send this guy straight back at itself. Move left, left. And then I need to send this guy down. Now I could add 1, but I could just do swap. In fact, I probably don't need to save it, do I? I can always, because all I've ever done is subtract 1 from it. So I probably could just add 1 to it. No, I'm just going to swap. Move accumulator down, but you could probably save a cycle there. 1. Okay, so this now we've been asked to. So we've been asked to do a division by 1, so I want to do this crazy division instead. So move left to the accumulator. And I still move accumulator left. So I've been asked to divide 70 by 1. I still want to divide 70, so I'm going to send it straight back. But add 1, move accumulator down. I actually want to divide 70 by 71. So this should no longer work. Jump back to the start. Okay, so it's now wrong. It's good. So we'll just call it good. It's just these divisions by 1 are now wrong. 2. So I need to send this guy into him and then get move left down. Get a number back. Move up to the accumulator. And I'm going to put a start label there. And then I need to do this addition that I had done over there. Add right. Save it. Move up to the accumulator. This is the new value, and this is the quotient, the one that I need to be checking. Jump and equal to 0z. So this is my normal path now. I don't want to do anything with this. It's not a 0. This is the way, not the old way, the 90% route. So move accumulator down, swap it, move accumulator right, and jump back to the start. So basically that just sends them down in that order back the way they are. In the Z case, I have got a 0. I need to move the accumulator right. So in effect, I'm moving, so I know the accumulator is 0 in this case, so 0 is going here because the remainder is going to be 0. And move accumulator down, finally, to move out the quotient part of it. I've lost. Yes, I've forgotten a swap. Yay! Okay, and that's a bit better. It was about 7.2 before. It's now 5.2-ish, 5.2k. That's not too bad. You know, and it's just starting to fire. So obviously this is an optimization. When forums, I haven't gone anywhere. You almost need to be able to, lose a box, and then you'd have enough maybe spare to run 2 parallel routes or something. There are plenty of options. Anyway, it's a fascinating game, and when I've done an initial run through, I probably will have a go at looking at the, at least the achievements in the game, and then maybe, doing 1 or 2 at low scores. Say I'm going to be horrible. Label 2, L2. This is terrible. It might as well be writing basic with line numbers at this stage. Move up, down, and jump to L. But I also want to sub 1. So, when we get to L2, what do I need to do? So let's just be very clear what I've been asking it to do. Okay, this shouldn't be a jump, should it? This should be... Yes, it should be a jump. It should be a jump. 2L. So when I get to L2, what do I need to do? And in fact, this guy has... Okay, let me clarify my thinking. This has been changed, or not changed. This has been calculated to tell me the number I need to throw away. So, and throw away, I mean move them down. So when I get here, the one currently on the top of the stack is the one I want. So move up to the accumulator, move accumulator right, and move accumulator up. Stick it straight back on top of the stack again. And then I need to fall into another little mini loop which takes the stuff from the stack and throws them back up here. So move to put, so I'm putting a 0 on this stack here and moving them up. So jump unequal to 0 back to the start. I don't actually want to move the 0 that I'm going to find here up here. So jump unequal to 0 to the start, and then jump to L3. Okay, that's just one of my... Now I've got a tendency to do that. I kind of write it as a pair, and then as I'm doing this, I use the same term here. It's an excuse for saying I don't know my left from my right. This guy is not dealing with his right at all. He's always dealing with his left, so they are always lefts there. Okay, is that any better? No. Why not? Okay, I've got the 860 here, so it looked like it worked. I mean, it came in, the first out should be 860, but what I haven't done is I haven't just done a move up down here as well. 860. And that hasn't worked. Because here I move down to the accumulator, but I never move. See, I can't just move up. I can't just move down to up because I need to go through the accumulator because I need to check it for 0. So move accumulator up. Just silliness on my part. I thought I'd that done. Let's see if finally. Okay, so what seems to be... I'm getting a 0 in there. Here I'm taking them all back out. So, hopefully, 4th time's a charm. Yep, that's ticking away through this quite nicely now. So again, I mean, it's really simple to see what this is doing. It actually makes kind of sense to my sort of brain. Stack works. So the way to find the correct one on the stack, I think, would be, it depends if you want to say whether it's 0 based or, but I don't. I'm saying how many to throw away. So this guy comes here, it takes that number off the top of the stack. It doesn't actually throw them away, it just temporarily stores them down here. It gets to the one it needs, therefore once it's taken that number away, we're on to the second one now, which is great. It gives the answer back here, and then it falls into a little loop at the very end to move everything that it has here back up. And it does that by using this trick of having a 0 on the bottom of the stack. We know we can't see a 0 normally 0 isn't a valid one that we could be returning, and therefore that allows it to be a special case. And it helps. Now, I mean, if 0 was, you could put minus 63. Well, you know, if all numbers were legal, then you'd have more problems. Right, I'm going to hit fast on that. So it's 2.5k of cycles. So we're quite low on the old instruction counts, which is just here. There's obviously some other... So obviously a peak here around halfway. Now, this when you've only got 2 stacks. I'd love to read them. Thanks again for watching. Bye now. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Paul Plays TIS-100. Sequence sorter. Ah, yes. So, if you're seeing this video, it probably means I've got to the end of this one. I've tried this. We have to get this sequence of numbers, sort it. Know what I'm going to do. Hope if it doesn't work, well, more attempts. So, here's the rough plan. Get the numbers in, get them stored in this stack. Then we're going to bounce this list of numbers between these 2 stacks. Oh, this could be a long video. I'm not feeling it at the moment. Okay, so jumping not 0 to L, moving this guy here. So this needs to be move 0 to up. Need to get a 0 onto the bottom of the stack. I then need to Move down to the accumulator. I don't want to put the 0 up there. So I want to jump on equal to 0 and jump back to some sort of label, which at this stage would be here, wouldn't it? There. And then end would be well, let's see what happens when we run this. Okay, move up to nil, move left to the accumulator, move accumulator up. Why is that not getting them out? So they're all in there, they all end up down here. Move left to the accumulator, move accumulator up. How did I get back to that line there? Okay, let me just have a look at this. Spinning it forward, 67 comes in, move left to accumulator. Okay, yeah, look what's happening. Here, I need to stop. Yeah, you see again. See, this is what's confusing me. There's nothing wrong. Well, obviously this is rubbish because it's the JNZL and then the blank line after it doesn't look great. But what's happened here is this guy has thrown down his next 0. So what I need to do is after I move it right, I need to get something back. So move right up. Wait. Okay, better but a lot worse at the same time. They're gone from there, but I don't have any in this stack up here. So what I'm trying to do at the moment is just get the sort of seesawing effect or the concertina or whatever you want to call it effect between these two. Yeah. Move down to the accumulator. I don't ever move it up. So jump on equal to Z to end, then move accumulator up. So it fills the first time, empties down to here, and then goes back up there again. Like so. So, after that, and L thing again. What is that? Okay, so that's what I want. It's coming in, so I've got the basic loop, which is springing them between one and the other now. So what I'd like to do then is making it yeah, but if that makes any sense. I need to get all the, okay. What I'm going to do next, I can the smallest number I see as they're going through. Okay, so to do that, what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to still keep, so this, it's going to be this fella's job here to remember which is the smallest number it has seen. So to do that, I'm going to need to set each time a very large number to yeah, it's set a large number so that it's you know, each time the minimum is reset to 999, and then the next, then I'm going to check and see if numbers are smaller than it. So it's got the current minimum stored, hopefully in the backup. So I'm going to do a save here, and then what I'd like to do then is check each new one. Is the new one smaller than the current minimum? If so, that becomes the minimum. And then when we've seen all the numbers go by, what we currently have in the backup should then be the smallest number in the list, which we have seen whiz by us like that. So to do that, what I'm going to do is move up. So I'm going to save it, move up to accumulate, jump on equal to 0, end. I don't need to do this for the zeros. So move accumulator down. So this box here, what I would like it to do is a very simple task, is take two numbers in, move accumulator left. So this is the new number, the one we've just thrown down. Swap, move accumulator left. This is our current minimum. Move left to accumulator. The current one, so I send it two numbers, it's got to send me the smaller of those two back, and I save it again. And when I jump to L, it should get saved. Okay, that looks right to me. So what does this guy have to do? It's got to get a move right from the accumulator. Not from the accumulator, move right to the accumulator and save it. So that's my first number in. And then, in effect, I need to subtract right and then jump on greater than 0. It's greater than 0. The second. Yes, okay, so let's just redo that in my head just to make sure I'm right. I need to find which of these two, I'm going to be given two numbers, I need to say which one of them is the smaller. So I've got the first number and the second number. And so the second one is the one I subtract. So if the result is greater than 0, the second number was smaller, because if it was bigger, it would then obviously make a number less than 0. So jump greater than 0 second. So then I have first, second, swap, move accumulator right, jump to S. Now, second, however, see, I can't get it, can I? I could have this guy send it to me multiple times, but this guy's already very, very full. Right, what I'm going to do is just be bold and I'm not using this box. I don't have a plan for this box. So I'm just going to use this for a bit of hacking. So if this gets sent a number, move up to the accumulator, move accumulator up, move accumulator up. So whatever happens, it sends any number it's given back twice. So after this save, I want to move right to down. I want to sub right. So that's in effect the same thing. It's moving it down. I'm subtracting using the first one of these. If it's the first number, I want to swap, move accumulator right, and move down to nil. I want to throw away the second one and jump to it. So to start, if it's the second one, I want to move down to right. Okay, and then instead of moving 9 and move accumulator right, so that gets the thing back out of the backup and sends it right. Okay. So if we run that, where have we gotten to? So if we run that, where have we gotten to? Oh, okay, fine. Yep. See, I move right down. Sub down. Stupid mistake. Okay, so it's still running, and let's just say move up to the accumulator. Save it and put a breakpoint there, and just let's make sure. Yes, we have the 15 here. So it's gone through here. 15 is the lowest number. It sent it through here, and now I'm getting it here as the very first thing in this box here. So now what do I want to do with it? Okay, as they're coming out of here, my plan is, and always was, that if they are now equal to this smallest number that we have, so when I'm in this loop, I'm going to have the new number coming in the accumulator, and I'm going to have the number we're checking for in the backup. So at the start of each loop, I am going to do a swap to get the number from the backup. I am then going to move accumulator right. I am then going to move left to the accumulator, which is the new number coming in. Sorry, let me just explain in my head what I'm trying to do here. Again, something similar to over here. I'd like to send this box two numbers and it tell me if they're equal or not. Yeah. Okay. Okay, there's a little problem here. Move left to the accumulator, move accumulator. Okay, so here is my problem. At this stage, I have something in both my accumulator and my backup that I want. I have the value and the lowest value, and I haven't done anything necessarily with them. I'm deciding now whether to send the new number I've just taken off the stack up because it's not the lowest number, or down because it's the lowest number. But if I now move some result, like this calculates whether they're the same and sends me back a 0 or a 1, I'm going to have to use an accumulator for that. So then I'm going to have to sort of get it back from here again. Now, I haven't used them, but there is in this game, there is a JRO, which is jump to relative offset. And I believe you can do a JRO on the right, and you can. So I think, and I'm thinking that this may have been able to use this technique in other ones before. What this in effect will let me do is kind of make a decision in this box, even though it doesn't look like it, whilst I'm still got stuff stuck in my accumulator and my backup, without, like I'd normally have to do, or I have been doing in the previous ones, where I'll move 0 back and jump on 0 J and Z, that type of thing entirely. So what the JRO does is it jumps to relative offset. So 0 is the line itself, that's +1, +2, +3, so it jumps that many instructions down. So if I do the JRO right, and then what I need to either do is move the accumulator down, then I need to skip this if I don't want to do it, jump to skip, move accumulator up, and skip. So, jump and not 0 to the loop, which is Okay. So is that right for the time being? Okay, I've done a bit of thinking. Okay, sorry about this. So jump on, where am I now? So move accumulator right, jump relative offset right, move accumulator down, jump to skip, so they both end up getting to there. So really, what I need to do is this guy has to return one of two numbers. If it returns a 1, I'd like it to return a 1, 2, a 1 or a 3. 1 if they're equal. And 3 if they're not. So. Do I need to start label? Probably not. Move left to the accumulator. Subtract left, jump on not 0 to not 0, 0, not 0. So if it's 0, so they're the same, I want to send a 1. I do need an S. I need to jump back to the start. And if it's not 0, move 3 left. Okay. Oh, hang on. I think it could just be. I thought I was blocking, but I think it could just be that. Okay, there's some problem with this in that it's never getting this 15 for a comparison. I'll save it there. Okay, so what we can see, we've got the first part of that sort done, and it's now it hasn't been able to detect this end condition, so it's just bouncing between this 0 nonsense now. But it has, if we watch it, it comes in here. When we get this 15 coming in, it throws it out, it then throws the 27 out, and it's clearing out these lists each time. So, this is getting there. So what we need to think about now is the end conditions on the loops, and also and throw a 0 out as well. If you get my drift. The thing is as well, sorry for the silence. Okay, where I'm thinking at the moment is detect. I want to detect the end of this, but there is this 0 here is the end of that list. So I'm looking down the bottom left here at the list of ends in case you can't see the mouse cursor. There is also a 0, 0, so it has to be able to handle a blank list. So if we get a 0 in, we still have to pass it down because we still need to throw a 0 out at the bottom. So what I'm going to do is okay, I'm going to put a special condition in here. I'm just going to mark it 1T, first time. And reset. Okay, I'm going to use 0 as a signal. So move 0 left. And I'm also going to use 0 as a signal to down to tell it that it needs to write a 0 out because of the end of stream. So move 0 down. And then I need to jump back to the start of this, don't I? Because I'm finished with that. Now, here, just looking at this here, obviously jumping equal to 0 reset. If I don't reset it, where do I want to go to? I want to skip over this code here and I want to remember this isn't the first time in. So I think I want to go here. So I'm going to put a label there. Jump to L2. Oh, it's getting complicated, isn't it? Right. And okay, I don't need to change it. The signal, as I said, is a 0, means we're resetting. I'm just going to change this to more friendly, to a 1. And I'm also going to send the same signal to down as well. And this is going to stop working, isn't it? Yes. Because I've got all these unnecessary signals which they're not quite sure how to use yet. Okay. So, instead of this being moved down to near just a signal which I don't do anything about, I'm going to move down into an accumulator, and then I am going to where am I going to? Go back to here. I get a 0, it's a full reset, I'm going back to the top, and I'm starting to load them in again. And it'll do that now. I don't put a jump S here, it'll fall in and do that. So that leaves me just finishing this box here. So instead of falling into the loop at the very start again, here, so this is where when I jump to here, jump on not 0. So when I've thrown them all through, so this is constantly going, do this, it's doing the throw down, it's not here. So jump on not 0 to L, it stays in this loop. So I get to here and I now have moved everything out of, everything has gone by, and I now need to wait for a signal, and I'm sending it down here and here. So move 0 down or a 1 down. So move up to the accumulator, and jump on, so 0 is the reset, so jump on not 0 back to the start, move 0 down. Okay, we got a 15 out, we got a 27 out, a 67 out, 86, and we get a 0. Ha ha! Can it work? 10, 46, but this has taken way too long, hasn't it? But I think I am smiling. I should have a webcam on for this. Okay, this is ploughing ahead. Great. I am gonna hit fast forward and see I'm particularly worried about this bottom 0 score, but it'll do. Wow. Okay, this was far too much like work, and this is so. I think there's one more to go, and then there is a. So I'll get the next one done quickly, and then I'll probably go through the. There is apparently some sort of addition to the game where they added sort of community puzzles to it, or something like that. I remember reading somewhere, so I'll have a look at them, but I'm probably not going to go through them quite as quickly. I'll probably try and get the achievements done if that's possible as well. But I think there's one more to do, so let's just return to segment list. Yes, I've got one more here in the main game. This one I believe is the what's the word I'm looking for? Yes, it's some sort of community thing they added. So, thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked it, please do drop a like on it. If you're enjoying... Hello, and welcome once again to... We are sequence sorter. Yeah, that was hard. And now stored image decoder. Let's have a look. So this is... or whatever. Okay. So after the last one, maybe I was expecting a bit more from this one, but the start is going to start in X0. Move right down. So I'm going to get the Y value from here, and all that's going to do is move accumulator left and add 1. So the first time it'll give it a 0, then it'll give it a 1, etc, etc. Move 30 to the accumulator. Loop. Move up, down, sub 1, jump but not 0 to loop, and if I don't get a 0, okay, jump but not 0 to 1, and if I do get a 0, I have to finish the string with a -1 down, and then go back to the start and get it in again. So all this box has to do is move up right, move left down. All this box has to do is convert 36.2 into the number 2 36 times, which cannot be too hard. Move up into the accumulator. Ooh, my dogs. They don't like something. Anyway, move up. They're never normally outside like that. They're very much indoor poodles. Well, they're not poodles, they're spaniels, but you know what I mean. Right, move up to the accumulator, save it, move up to the accumulator. Now, then I want to loop, move accumulator down. I then want to do a swap, sub 1, jump but not 0 to loop. Right. So it's basically going to take this number and count out where do I need the swaps and the saves in this. At the end of this loop, it's obviously got to be on the counting number, not the... do another swap there. Right, let's have a look at that. And there we go. Yep, that's looking good. So, I'm going to hit... This guy is just printing out ones, and it's doing, you know, what... I mean, I did back in the day. No, this would be years ago. This would be sort of Commodore 64 or very early 8086 time. Work on a editor. I have no idea what that was. Obviously some sort of graphically primitive picture. From a sort of standard tape deck, not like those posh Commodore 64 and VIC-20s which had their own proper tape decks, and these ones used to squawk as they were loading. Very nice. Right, so again, this I believe is made from, it's kind of fan made. They've pulled it from the community. So there may be some fun puzzles in there. There may not. I'm not sure. But TIS-100 is done. So I think that's probably it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do if in terms of more videos. I would probably like to at least do the achievements sort of on video and see if there's any, see what that's like. Whether I want to do an episode for every TIS directory one, I don't know. It's hard to know how to do it otherwise. Otherwise I've got to sort of, go through them and see if I find an interesting one and say, okay, I'll record a video on this one. Maybe that's the way to do it. Or maybe, other people have an idea on what they'd like to see or what they wouldn't like to see. So maybe bung a comment in, bung a like on, whatever. So thank you for watching this video, and if you've watched them all, thank you very much for watching them all, and if you subscribed, thanks again. Thanks for supporting. It's been a new experience for me recording these videos for YouTube, so thanks for those who have supported and liked and commented and everything else. So without further ado, that's all from me for TIS-100 for the time being. Thanks again for watching. Bye now. So what we have here is we have this sort of
missile cruiser has entered our space.
display